everyone. Welcome to our live today on Super Speed Math. I hope you all are ready for some excitement. So I am Krystal Long, and I'm Executive Board Member for Whole Brain Teaching. I currently teach 7th grade, but I have taught 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 6th grade. And I am joined here by Kyla and Tammy. Kyla, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, I'm Kyla Tesmer. I am Gold Certified 3rd grade teacher in North Carolina.
And hi, I'm Tammy Kirk. I am a high school teacher, and I'm also Gold Certified and excited to be here today.
Yay, thank you ladies so much. Well, Kyla and I will be here, but we're going to send Tammy backstage, and she's going to man the chat for us. And then we'll bring her back in a little bit just to do our closure. So bye, Tammy. See you on the flip side. All right, Kyla, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to get this started. So we are here live and in person talking all things super speed math, which is one of my favorite games that we use. And Kyla, I know that you have some experience with it as well. So we're just going to kind of combine some forces here and show everybody else in the audience how awesome super speed can be. So as you can see, the brand new book has been out. This is the 2nd edition of the Whole Brain Teaching for Challenging Kids. And I just have to say, even if you already have the first one, you need this book. Kyla, give me some testaments from this book. What are things that you're excited about that you've learned?
I am super excited that it's set up in modules so people don't feel overwhelmed to have to do everything. They can pick from here and then pick over here and then add halfway through the year, because you don't have to start everything at the beginning. So I love how Coach has made it very easy to navigate and just pick what you like.
Absolutely. That modularity really makes it so we don't feel like we have to do everything right away, that we can just kind of pick a few things and do them really well instead of doing a lot of things not very well. Wouldn't you agree, Kyla?
Totally agree.
All right. So there is also another book available for purchase, and this is Color Writing. And I've got to tell you, as an elementary educator, I loved color writing. Look at you. You already have them handy. Love it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. If you saw the live yesterday on Super Speed Reading, this is going to follow that same kind of flow with the way that we introduce this to our students. So Kyla, mirror my gestures, please. We're going to start off with a quick 1-minute timing. You can have electronic or paper. It's adaptable to most of your learners, and it's fun and motivating. Now, Kyla, that's not all. Mere words.
Mere words.
I can use this.
I can use this.
In whole group.
In whole group.
In partners.
In partners.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
Tutoring.
Tutoring.
And homework.
And homework.
Homework partners.
Homework partners.
One-on-one tutoring.
One-on-one tutoring.
And homework.
And homework.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, Kyla, tell me, how can we use this in our classroom? Teach.
Okay, so we can use Super Speed Math as whole group, partners, one-on-one, in tutoring, and even as homework.
Yeah, girl, you got it. So we have two different options here. We have Super Speed Numbers, which is for your pre-K, kindergarten, maybe a little bit into 1st grade. And then we also have the option of using Super Speed Math. So Super Speed Number, Kyla, is all about learning the numbers and the number relationship to the words. And then Super Speed Math is going to be all about that fact practice, that fact fluency. So what are these two resources that we have?
So we have Super Speed Numbers, which is going to be for your low learners, your pre-K, maybe all the way to 1st grade, depending on identifying their numbers. And then we have Super Speed Math, which gets into the fact fluency.
Yes, and they are both such great tools to use, and they're set up the same way. So each student will have a packet, and that packet will be used to organize the pages that go with it. So let's take a look at what super speed numbers would look like in just a second. So mirror words.
Mirror words.
Thank you, Kyla.
You're welcome, Krystal.
We're going to print our student pages.
We're going to print our student pages.
One side is the question.
One side is the question.
The other side is the answers.
The other side is the answers.
Really important.
Really important.
Print both for each student.
Print both for each student.
This makes it.
This makes it.
So when one partner is the student,
so when one partner is the student,
the other partner has the answers.
The other partner has the answers.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, tell me, how are we going to originally set this up? Teach.
Okay, so we are going to print packets for students. You're going to have the questions on one side, and then the answers are going to be on the flip side. So when they're partnering, one is the student and one is the teacher with the answers so that they can check as they go.
10-finger woo to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So the reason that we want to print these in packets, and of course, there are no whole brain teaching police, right, Kyla? So it's not necessary that you do this, but from past experience, I find it helpful to have those pages already in packets. Again, we're going to print them front to back so that the students have both the answer and the question, and you're going to staple them. And then we're going to make a couple extra. Okay, we're going to make a couple extra because, Kyla, what sometimes happens, even with the most organized teachers and students?
Even with the most organized, sometimes packets get lost.
They do. And so you want to have that extra packet so that you're not scurrying around looking for something when your students are ready for action. Now, I personally, Kyla, like to keep these. I keep a reading in one side of a folder and math in the other side of the folder. And then I even have students take those in groups and put them in their group organizational box, like a book bin, so that they're easy for the group leader to go and get. So what's another management strategy I use?
So we can use a folder and put reading in one side, math in the other, and then also having the students grab them in their groups and put them in like a bin or someplace so it's not shoved in their desk, because that's can be the black hole sometimes. So
yes, exactly. And that is the big reason why I do collect them, because often they will get shuffled and somehow one day they bring it out and there's nothing in there, or they don't know where the folder is. It went home. Why did it go home? We use it at school. So it's just one of those organizational ways that I've learned to do this in my classroom. What do you use, Kyla, for your organizational strategy, or do you do anything different than what I do?
I think this year I'm going to do the folders. Last year I did it a little different. I did not print back to back. I had a answer sheet in a slipcover, and then their actual printed one was paper where they could mark it. So then the answer sheet would go back into a drawer, and then they kept their paper copy in their math folder.
Right. Great idea. Great idea. Now, the one thing that I really want to say here is your students are not actually going to be writing the answers down. The only time, Kyla, that they are going to be writing anything is to mark where they start the next time and where they end on each one of their goals. Give that back to me, Kyla.
So on this, they don't write on it. They're only marking where they end their 1 minute time and then going back to start and then marking it again.
Absolutely. You've got it. So here, Kyla, we are showing the super speed numbers. And I want you to take a look at this. We have different levels that the students are going to be doing within the super speed numbers. Remember, all we're trying to do is get the students to recognize the number and its word relationship here. So Kyla, how is this different than some of the other super speeds?
So this is by levels. We have 3 levels here that you can see, and they have numbers at each one, but we are getting them to recognize that number with the word that it goes with.
Absolutely. Now, how are they similar, using one of our wonder words gestures? How are they similar to the super speed letters that we talked about yesterday?
So one way that they are similar is that each level is focusing on one new number, where it was a letter yesterday, or a word. Was it word yesterday?
It was a word.
Word. That's what I thought. Thank you. I'm still cool.
I'm
And then your level 2, you add a new one in. Level 3, you add another one in.
Absolutely. Mere words.
Mere words.
The first line in the level
The first line in the level
identifies the number in that level,
identifies the number in that level,
the focus of that level.
the focus of that level.
In the next level,
In the next level,
the number from before is black,
the number from before is black,
and the new level is in blue.
and the new level is in blue.
Each level, this happens.
Each level, this happens.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, just summarize for me right here, Kyla. What and how do we see those different levels and identify the new numbers?
So in the very first line, it identifies the number of that level. Then in the next level, it has that same number in black, but the new number is in blue, and it continues to build each level.
Absolutely. So down at the bottom, we have a challenge that goes along with this level system. So we practiced in level 1, what number, Kyla?
1.
And in number 2, what did we do?
We did 1 and 2.
Yeah. And number 3, what did we do?
1, 2, and 3.
So now we're going to do the challenge. And this is the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 to kind of mix it up and give us some spice here. Now, that's the basic part of super speed numbers. But I bet you're wondering, how do we play this game, Kyla? I mean, tell me, aren't you wondering all about that?
How do we play this game?
All right, so it's so easy. And if you saw everything that we did yesterday with super speed reading, it's going to be the same structure with super speed numbers. So in the lower level of super speed 100, which is the high frequency words, the most 100 high frequency words in the English language, now we're looking at the levels with the numbers. So that's how they are the same. So we're going to have 2 students partner up, okay? And those students are going to take turns reading one number and then the next number. So one student would say 1, the next student would say 2 in level number 2. One student would say 2, then the next student would say 1, and so on. So kind of give that back to me, and then we're actually going to play a little bit here, Kyla. You cool with that?
I'm so cool with that. So you're going to partner up your students. They are going to have that 1-minute timer, and then they are going to take turns reading the numbers. So if we're at level 2, we would say 1, and then 2, and 2, and 1, taking turns back and forth.
Yes, you've got it. Now, after our minute timing has gone off, our students stop. And they annotate on their paper their stopping place, because that's now going to be their goal to read further in the second timing to see if they're going to get that improvement star or that excitement for beating their goal. All right, so give that back to me, Kyla.
So after they do their 1-minute timer, they stop. They're going to annotate on that paper where they ended, and that is what they're trying to beat their next minute timed, so that they can get that excitement of trying to beat themselves for maybe a super improver star.
Yes. All right. So are you ready to practice with me, Kyla?
Yeah, let's do this.
Now, before we start, I really want to emphasize where it says level 1 and there's the number 1 right after it, your students are not going to say that number. They're going to go straight to the line where the 1 is repeated, and so on with level number 2 and level number 3. So what do we not want our students to say, Kyla?
We don't say that number 1 after where it says level 1 or level 3. We don't say those numbers.
All right. So I know we said 60 seconds, right, Kyla?
Yeah.
But I think for the brevity of this, I think we're only going to practice for 15 seconds. Okay,
Good
Kyla?
idea.
You think that's a good thing? All right.
I like
So,
that.
are you ready? I've got 15 seconds on the timer. Do you
Are we
want to
starting
start?
at level 1?
Yeah, we'll start on level 1. You've got it. Now, Kyla, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start.
Okay, on your mark, get set, go.
1,
1,
1,
1,
1,
2,
2,
1,
2,
2,
2,
2,
1,
2,
2,
1,
1.
and stop. So we got to the first one in level number 3. So we're going to mark there with our pencil. Make sure you do it on a pencil so you can erase it. And then we're going to go back up. But this time, Kyla, I'm going to start and then you're going to do the second read. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. On your mark, get set, go. 1,
1,
1,
1,
1,
2,
2,
1,
2,
2,
2,
2,
2.
1,
Oh, 1. Okay.
2,
2,
1.
1. And we're going to stop there. Now, Kyla, what happened there? What happened with my reading of my numbers?
We read a wrong number in there.
Okay. And so we had to do what?
A little help season.
A little help sees. Yes. So you gave me that number and I said it again. Now, that also caused us not to beat our previous record. But let's just pretend like we actually did beat our previous record. Okay. So, Kyla, if our students beat that score and they move on, now what they're going to do is instead of starting in level number 1, we ended in level number 2 on our second reading. So the next time that they do super speed numbers, they're going to start in level number 2. Mirror words.
Mirror words.
When our students beat their previous score,
When our students beat their previous score,
instead of starting on level 1,
instead of starting on level 1
or whatever level they started on,
or whatever level they start on,
they're going to start in the line level from what they ended in that score.
they'll start on the line level of what they ended on that score.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right. So explain that back to me, Kyla.
So when they have improved, they're not going to start at level 1 anymore or whatever they started on. They will start on that first, is it the first line of that level that they ended on?
Yes, exactly. You've got it. So that helps the students progressively move through the numbers while still getting that repetitious practice, but it's moving them through the numbers so that they can get practice on those numbers that are after those levels. And it really just becomes a fun little game that they get to play against them and their partner. They're not trying to go against anybody else, Kyla. We're not trying to beat everybody else's team. All we're trying to do is beat our previous score. All right, Kyla, you think you got it?
I think I got this one.
I think you got it too. All right, so we're going to go on now to super speed math. Oh, rub those hands together and say, oh, I love super speed math.
Oh, I really love super speed math.
Yes, I love it too. So I want to kind of go back through this. Now, the first time, Kyla, we said that we printed off that packet of the numbers, and that was just for super speed numbers. There are no answers. This is where the front to back comes in to make those packet with the questions and the answers. And you said that you put them into clear plastic sleeves. And so whatever your modality is of doing that, that's what you're going to do in your classroom. So, all right, Kyla, what do you notice is different? Another one of those wonder words, different about super speed math in comparison to super speed numbers.
Well, with super speed math, it looks like we have some coordinates like A through K, and then we have 1 through more than 3, but we have a snippet. And it looks like we have some actual equations happening in there.
Ooh, look at that fancy verbiage there. She said coordinates. She talked about equations. Oh, I'm loving it. I love that math vocabulary. All right, so mirror words.
Mirror words.
This game is also played in 60-second increments.
Is also played in 60-second increments.
2 partners.
2 partners.
Oh, my still cool. 2 people.
2 people
are partners.
Are partners.
One of them is the student.
One of them is the student.
The other is the teacher.
The other is the teacher.
Oh, they love to play teacher.
They really love to play teacher.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, so the student is going to be the one looking at, well, it's the purple grid, okay? And they're looking at those equations, but what are not there, Kyla?
There are no answers on that page.
Yeah, you got it. Now, The teacher is looking at the green grid, and these have
The answers.
woohoo. Now, as the students are reading through, the student is going to be reading not just the answer to the equation. They must say the entire equation with the answer. For example, 0 plus 0 is 0. Give that back to me, Kyla.
So as the students are looking, you have a student as one of the partners and the teacher. The teacher's looking at the blue part with the answers. The student is looking at the purple part without the answers. But as they do their 60-second time, they have to say the whole equation with the answer, not just the answer.
Yeah, girl, you got it. So, Kyla, this is such a fun way to just add in that automaticity of fact practice where kids don't even realize that they're doing something academic because all they're trying to do is win and beat their score. So we get them on the edge of their seats ready to play this game. And here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, all right, guys, are you ready? Are you ready to play super speed? And they're going to go, oh, yes. And I'll say something very simple. All right, get out your super speed math packets. And I'm going to three-peat this with my students. Another one of those great things to have in your back pocket. I teach my students the three-peat, and this is how it goes. If I say pencils, they say pencils, pencils, pencils. All right, Kyla, do another word for me.
I like to say math folders.
Math folders, math folders, math folders. Give me another one.
Name.
No, names, names, names. Oh, we even do this with lining up. Now, the trick is, of course, never expect them to line up without actually teaching them how to line up, right, Kyle? I mean, that's just bonkers. Right. So if I say lines, then what are the students going to say?
They're going to say lines, lines, lines.
And I remind them, stand up, push in your chair, walk safely to the line. So we even have 3 different prompts that I use when I say lines those 3 times. Just some really great strategies to help those kind of those things that you do, those, oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? Those, do you know what it is, Kyla?
Are you looking for procedures?
Yes, thank you. That's the word that I'm looking for. Oh, you're so amazing. So those procedures that we have to do all the time. So I would say super speed math folders. And then what are they going to say, Kyla?
Super speed math folders, super speed math folders, super speed math folders.
You've got it. Now they are racing to get that folder out. They're opening it up. They're taking out their papers from their packet, and they've got things ready to go so that when I set that 1-minute timer, Kyla, they are ready for action. Give that back to me, Kyla.
So we like to use that 3P. We tell them super speed math folders. They get it out, they open it up, they pull out their packet, and they are so ready to start that 1-minute timer.
You've got it. And I even do the 3P with the group leaders, and I'll say group leaders, super speed. And they go over there, super speed, super speed, super speed. And they run over to that file folder and they get it out and they pass them out to the students as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So, are you ready to play a little bit, Kyla?
Ooh, yes, let's play.
I love to play. All right. Again, we're going to start. We're only going to do 15 seconds. You cool with that?
I'm cool.
All right. Let's do 15 seconds. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, I'll start. Are you ready? On your mark?
Ready.
Set. Go. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 1 equals 1. 0 plus 2 equals 2. 0 plus 3 equals 3. 0 plus 4 equals 4. 0 plus 5 equals 5. 0 plus 6 equals 6. And that's the timer. So now I'm trying to get past what coordinates on our grid here, Kyla?
You're trying to get past G1.
You've got it. Now, do you notice how I was a little bit slower when I did it the first time? This is a little trick. And yes, sometimes I will teach this to my kids. Go slower, get it locked in your brain, and then the next time you do it, go just a little bit faster. All right, Kylie, you ready?
Ready.
All right, here I go. On my mark, get set, go. 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 plus 1 equals 1. 0 plus 2 equals 2. 0 plus 3 equals 3. 0 plus 4 equals 4. 0 plus 5 equals 5. 0 plus 6 equals 6. 0 plus 7 equals 7. 0 plus 8 equals 8. 0 plus 9 equals 9. 0 plus 10 equals 10. 1 plus, oh, and there's the time. So did I meet my goal?
You beat it.
Yeah, I beat that goal. So the next time that I am the student, Kyla, I will start on A2. So instead of starting on A1, if I beat my score, then I get to start on A2, which is the next line down. All right, Kyla, give that back to me.
Okay, so when you beat your record, you get to go down one level from where you started. So instead of starting at level 1, you passed it, so you get to start at level 2.
Yes. All right. Now, what we would do if we were playing this in class is that I finished being the student. So now I'm going to flip to the back of that paper, and I'm now going to be the teacher, and then you would be the student. And you're going to do the same format that I just did, only this time you're trying to beat your own personal goal. And that's why it's important that the students have their own individual packet so that it's all about their own goal. Now, Kyla, what do you see down at the bottom there where it says super speed math?
I see it like a star with a circle in it.
Yeah, that's my star. So now in that star, I'm going to put, are you ready for it? Where I'm going to start next time. Okay. And I'm going to start on A2, and then we're going to progressively see how quickly I can get through each of those stars. So just a fun way for the students to do record keeping within their packets. All right. So Kyla, I think we're pretty good on this, right?
I think we've got this.
Pretty good. Now, how do we tie in some motivational pieces? So Kyla, tell me some of the things that we can use to help our students stay motivated when they're playing.
So we can tie in those super improver stars. If they improve their score, they might get a star.
Oh, yeah. Now, do we have to give them a star every single day we play?
No.
No. But is it fun if we do?
Super fun if we do.
So I really like to roll the dice and say, today we're practicing. If I roll the dice and we land on this number, then today's going to be the test. And we're going to put that in for super improver stars. So how do I kind of play this up a little bit to keep it uncertain, Kyla?
So you can't just always give them a star because that's not fun. So we get that dice out and we are always practicing, but you roll the dice and you say, if we land on like a 3 or a 5, then you are going to do this for the test for a super improver star.
Yes, and that's the fun in it. So every time you beat your personal score, that goes into the star, and that's going to be where that student gets really excited to watch their progression. Now, Kyla, do you want to kind of go through the upgrades here of how we would play this if we're using all of the super speed fluency practices?
Absolutely. So part of our upgrade is on Monday, we can do super speed addition. We can go on Tuesday and we can do super speed subtraction. Wednesday, we have multiplication. Thursday is division. And then Friday are those gnarlies or fractions if you want to get into fractions. The gnarlies, they're good.
They are gnarly. They are gnarly. Now, what I want to look at here too is there are also 2 different levels that you can use in each of these. So in the beginning of the year, you're practicing addition, okay? And your students finish that packet. Well, the addition is done in sequence, but Kyla, level number 2, mixes them up. So it won't be as patterned as it is in level number 1. All right, give that back to me, Kyla.
So in order to keep things interesting, that level 1 is very patterned. So the students kind of start getting used to that pattern. But once they finish that whole page, they get to go to level 2, and those get mixed in to keep that brain engaged.
Yes. So on the bottom of these pages, this is just a snapshot of the very top of the super speed math. And towards the bottom, there are going to be boxes that are colored a little bit. So they might be grayed out if you print everything in black and white. And so that gray out is going to symbolize those what, Kyla?
Those gnarlies.
Yes, those gnarlies. And those are known as some of the most challenging fluency practice facts that students stumble on, which then, of course, impacts them as they continue to go on in education. And Chris Biffle even talked to the people in college down his hallway, those math teachers, and they came up with these numbers as the numbers that were most frequently missed, or the facts that were most frequently missed. So we know that if we prepare our students with super speed math like this, then we're helping them in their educational journey. Don't you think that's kind of cool, Kyla?
That's way cool. I love the gnarlies to help those
Yes.
kids.
Now, the gnarlies and fractions are both something that you can use, but here's the other part. Kyla, you and I taught upper elementary. What happens though if we're teaching lower elementary at first? So say like second grade, third grade. Are they necessarily going to be practicing multiplication and division or fractions at that point?
No. We're
No.
sticking to addition, subtraction.
You've got it. So I might even say on Monday and Tuesday, we're practicing addition. On Wednesday and Thursday, we're practicing subtraction. And on Friday, we're going to pick either addition or subtraction, and that's going to be our test. And that's going to be what's worth those super improver stars. Woo! So give that back to me, Kyla.
So if you have lower level elementary students that are only focusing on addition, subtraction, you can do Monday and Tuesday as addition, Wednesday, Thursday as your subtraction, and then Friday can be picking which one and then doing that time test for those super improver stars.
Yes, awesome. All right, so Kyla, believe it or not, that is the end of our super speed math. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring our beloved Tammy back. And hi, Tammy.
Hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're going to do some questions. So I have some that I have looked at already, but then I want to kind of just open this up to anybody who's in the audience for you guys to ask questions. So if you have a question and it's not already in the comments, just type your question in there and we're going to do our best to answer that for you.
Right. So I put a couple of them in our private chat so they pop out for you easier. And Carla's first question was, do you do this every day? And by the end of the session, you had answered her question.
Perfect.
But her second question was, in your own classroom, is this what you do for fluency? Anything else?
This is it. I don't need anything else. We use Eureka Math and they have the fluency component to it, but really when it comes down to it, this absolutely solves one of the biggest struggles of teachers with fact practice. And especially, Kyla and I were talking about this, especially in third, fourth, and even fifth, practicing multiplication and division becomes my focus. And I might only use the addition and subtraction for students who are in tier, who need that lower level fact practice. So what about you, Kyla?
That's exactly what I do. I start the beginning of the year since I teach third grade, we start the beginning with addition, subtraction, and then we really hit that multiplication in the middle of the year. And then we add in the division as we learn those multiplication facts. So, and the addition, subtraction is perfect for our tier groups because that's where they're needing that help. So it's a fun way for them to practice and not feel like they're not doing something fun. It's still fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And Tammy, I bet you would even find this valuable, not in chemistry necessarily, but with other teachers who might have those students who are still challenged by these facts, because some students, it just takes longer for them to be able to get through them. So right. it becomes something pretty powerful.
Well, I could see that teachers could go out on their own and kind of make their own list of things you want the kids to know all year and drill all year. For me, that would be elements and their symbols. So I'm thinking about doing that.
Oh, how cool would that be?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. You can make this a grid.
Right.
Explain that to me.
Okay, well, the periodic table itself is a grid. And so we would just work through the periodic table from the top to the bottom and see how far you get, and have one side with just the symbols and the other side with both.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That is pure genius. Oh, Tammy, you know what that means though, right?
Super speed 118.
Oh, you get a special project. I'm handing it to you. Coach is going to say, all right, let's get this, Tammy. We're doing this.
I'm going for it.
I
But
love it.
there are a couple other questions, if I can go ahead and address them.
Yes.
Anne Priam, one of our watchers, said, what do you do if somebody gets an answer wrong?
Absolutely. So that's where we bring in the helpsies again. And all you do is you just say, oh, that answer. Or I might say, check it, that answer is, and I'll give them the answer. And then that student has to say the whole problem again with the correct answer in order to move on. Kyla, how did you use that in your classroom?
That's how I use it. I started by having my kids go ahead and say, try again. But if they weren't able to produce that answer, then the partner would say it, and then they would repeat it and then go on.
Perfect. Awesome.
Good, because you don't want a kid saying wrong, wrong.
Right.
You want them to say, check it. Is that what you said, Kyla?
Mine was try again. Krystal
Try again. That is so kind. I like the way that that's worded. I would definitely want to have something for my high school kids to say so that they weren't, hurting each other's feelings.
Absolutely, because that is, I mean, it makes you a little vulnerable to do that. So, Carla, yes, we do use this every day, and I will start off my math block with super speed math, and then I will do super speed reading if I were teaching reading at the same time. All right, Tammy, what else is in there?
All right, so there's one more question from Anna Marie, and she says, what if you finished the second round on H1, but you didn't finish the whole row, but you beat your goal? Would you go to the next row, or would you start where you left off in the middle?
So that is going to be a teacher preference. It's not completely spelled out in the new book. But for me, I would have that student move on because they've gotten to that point. The way that it used to be done is if they beat their goal, they counted 5 spaces over, and that's where they would start the next time. But for simplicity, coaches changed it to just move down the next row. So I'm going to stick with that and say that that's the correct answer. But again, Kyla, what are there nothing of?
There are no whole brain teaching police.
So you do you, boo, just like Shyla Heater says.
Okay, well, that's about it for the questions. We shared a lot in the messages. A lot of people got their questions answered already, and lots of links available for them to go find this and print this. So thanks so much, ladies.
Awesome. And I do just want to go back and talk about this one real quick. So Carla said the packet then is run back to back with all 4 facts with a star page. Yes, that is correct if you're in the upper elementary. If you're in lower elementary and all you want to do is level 1, level 2 with addition and subtraction, level 1 and level 2 addition and then subtraction, you could do that. But for me in 3rd and 4th grade, I actually did the whole packet of level 1. And then as they would move, I would then give them another page for their packet. What about you, Kyla? How did you do that?
I definitely did. I kept it with like level 1 and then added the level 2 into it.
Yep. And another one, Facebook user, I do not use flashcards. It's too much, honestly, for me to keep up with. I will have students get onto like a math program that you can do extra math. There's a couple of other ones that you can do just to have the students practice the facts in a different modality. But this really does solve the problem of needing to practice facts. And for homework, if parents want, you can even send a packet home and then the parent goes over it with those students instead of trying to keep up with flashcards. Have you done anything similar, Kyla?
Yeah, I used to use flashcards. We would do like each fact separately and do flashcards, but they would lose them and I'd have to make more copies. So this is definitely easier. And I feel like they always just wanted to say the answer with flashcards, where they're forced to say the whole thing. And I think that gets it embedded in their brain even more.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, thank you so much for being here with me. This is probably going to be my last live until after school gets settled down. So thank you so much for being here. And everybody out in the audience, thank you all for being here and just showing up for your kids and really wanting to polish that craft of teaching. So give us some hearts, give us some loves, and we will see you all on the flip side. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.